We both started blowing glass for a really famous glass artist the same year in 2003, and that's how we met. We were on the same team together. I was born here on Lopez and grew up here, and I started blowing glass in high school.
And I got connected to glass through my dad. My dad was a glass blower. When I went to college in Hawaii, they had a glass blowing department there and decided that it would be a fun thing to try. That's where I got started, and then maybe my second year, they sent me to Pilchuck Glass School, and that's how I started coming to this area for my career.
And that's where we met.
And that's where we met, at Pilchuck Glass School. Yeah.
And then we had this dream of building a studio, and when Kelly and I decided we really were going to do that, we did a Kickstarter campaign, so we were able to raise a bunch of money through that, and just people giving, donating to the cause, and believing in what we were doing here.
We were really surprised and amazed and really humbled to see how much of the community was
supported us,
just ready to be there
both
for
the
us.
Lopez community and the glass
our glass community all over the world.
And
yeah.
the collectors that have supported us in the past by buying our work also help donate to that. The thing about glass is that as it cools, it wants to crack. So you're constantly having to torch different areas, and then I'm working on certain areas, so I'm heating those up and pulling them out and manipulating the form. So the octopus is really hard. It's a very challenging piece. It's one of the more challenging pieces that I make because 8 legs for one, and then it's just a lot to manage all the different tentacles and the heat. Kelly was bringing the bits for the legs, so as she brought those, it introduces both mass and heat to the piece. So when I have that heat there, I'm able to pull the legs out. So kind of utilizing that heat. And then Courtney's job was to basically make sure that the piece stayed on the pipe. So he's constantly going in and out of the reheating chamber. Actually, I do like to work from a reference, but I don't look at a picture and say, I'm gonna recreate that picture. There's a little bit of serendipity, and there's a lot of just kind of like seeing what looks good as you're making it.
If the glass is going a certain way, it's more successful if you kind of go its way instead of fighting it too much.
So you just kind of want to like not touch it more than you have to, and use the heat and the fluidity of the glass to kind of make those forms flow. But it's tricky.
Definitely a challenge. Yeah.
The process is always about timing. So we really speak the same language, and in that sense we don't have to speak at all. We've done that process, whether it's an octopus or anything else. You just know what's next.
But we definitely had to learn those steps to get there and make lots of mistakes to get to that point.
We've worked in Japan, we've worked in Turkey, we've worked all over the world, and knowing how to make glass, you can work with other people that don't speak the same language even.
It's really neat.
Yeah, it's a really cool experience because that glass community and just that kind of collective knowledge is just a great way to bridge barriers. A lot of people have made the analogy to being a musician or something like that, because it's similar. It's like, oh, we know how to do this. All right, let's jam. Like, let's, we can make something.
We need a bass player today.
yeah, totally. So it's really fun in that way.
Every day, there's always something learned.
It's a good teacher.
Even though we've been working in glass for 25 years each, there's still so much to be learned in glass, and it's humbling sometimes.
Yeah, you can work so hard on something for so long, and it can
and you think you know something about it, and but then you learn something.
We're overjoyed to be making work in our own shop. It's been a long road, and we just started, like, this last month was our first time ever working in this space, so it's been a really big deal for us to just.
We
be
feel
able to
really
do that.
lucky that we can bring our studio to our home.
Oh yeah, look at that. Color's nice.
Being glassmakers, it's kind of a lifestyle. It doesn't feel like a job. It's like more in you than the 9 to 5. I feel like.
We're artists, so we're always thinking of
Always
different ways
thinking of it, so
to
it's
make
nice that it's
something.
here, but it's also a separate building from the house, which is also like, okay, cut it off and let's have some family time and play some board games or something.
Yeah.
But
no, we're
it's
super lucky.
Amazing to have
Yeah.
it right here at our fingertips. It's
Yeah.
incredible.